Hi, Joel. Thank you so much for joining us today during your busy In Cosmetics Global 2025 period. I just have a few questions about Ashland's innovations. The first one is, why is there a growing need to replace fossil-derived and synthetic ingredients in cosmetic formulations?
The growing need is multi-level. The first level is a global level. If you look at the energy market, the energy market is also trying to get out of the fossil sourcing because of the carbon footprint. And also there is a scarcity in the energy. And this translates to the synthetic product market, and where you have issues that are raising in terms of sustainability, in terms of biodegradability. So the fossil word is interesting because it means that it comes from resources that are hundreds of millions years old, and tapping into it and releasing it all of a sudden is a problem. Okay, that is well known. Then when it comes to cosmetic, it's about the biodegradability, because these products, these synthetic products that come from the petrochemistry, they don't have the biodegradability that would, let's say, be good for the planet or good for our health. But the functionality they give is there. If you take the example of acrylates, for instance, the functionality that they provided is something unique, and it's very difficult to imitate. So the demand in the functionality is growing and is continuing to grow. And what is driving the growth of finding alternatives to these synthetic molecules is, of course, this overarching need of humanity.
And historically, synthetic ingredients have been favored for their performance. How do nature-derived alternatives like Texturpure match up, particularly in terms of rheology and formulation stability?
Mm-hmm. So if you take the example of Texturpure, it has been designed to replace the acrylates, or to propose an alternative to the acrylates. It will not replace all the acrylates, but some applications for some customers that are looking for these alternatives. And the function that the performance that they provide is a performance of rheology and of suspension, and in this case, in shampoos. When acrylates were discovered 50 years ago, it was a relief to formulators because formulations were not stable. And it was the kind of magic product that enabled all of a sudden to stabilize shampoos, to stabilize emulsions, and so on. But then with the growing needs that we were discussing just in the previous question, how do we find some alternatives? And alternatives have emerged. Gums and natural products, but they never really matched the performance. So where Texturpure is bringing something new to the industry is that it matches the performance of the acrylates. Okay, so in terms of stability, viscosity, suspension. And in terms of texture, in terms of sensoriality, because a cosmetic ingredient is the stability inside the jar, but then you apply it on the hair, on the skin, and there is where the shift is from functionality to sensoriality.
That's a great segue into my next question, which is about the sensorial benefits. So how do these sensorial benefits translate into a better experience for consumers? And if you have an example, it would be great to hear.
Yes, we can take the example of Texturpure. The sensoriality, so it's using the senses of us, it's the eye, the touch. The sensoriality brings, it's on hand. When you use a shampoo, the first thing you do is you pour it in your hands. You don't put it directly from the bottle on your hair. And this is the first sensorial experience. And here, the sensoriality is of hold. It does its job in terms of texture, in terms of the way it looks in your hand. And that has its importance too. Then it is when you apply it. Okay. And there the sensoriality that the benefits that it gives, they are what is looked for and that is achieved with synthetic ingredients, and that we manage to reproduce with the Texturpure. It's on the foam, on the way it's under the fingers that you are using for washing your hair. The next step is rinsing. If it takes hours to rinse a product, not practical. So that's also quick rinse. Texturpure has a quick, fast, and thorough rinse. And then it's the afterfeel. Afterfeel when the hair is wet, detangling, and afterfeel when the hair is dry, which is what you will wear and what you will feel during the whole day, and that will participate in your self-confidence. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where Texturpure brings something new.
Absolutely. And it's very interesting to hear about the sustainability, the performance aspect, and the sensorial benefits as well. Joel, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your insights.
Thank you very much.